Hey guys, welcome into the Craig Houston Podcast. The subject of today's video is TD-AMERITRADE for beginners. So in today's episode, what we're going to talk about is how to open up a TD-AMERITRADE account. So I'm going to show you how to go ahead and download it from the Play Store, or you can download from your iOS. And then we're going to talk about how to open up a new account. And we're also going to show you how to buy and sell your first stocks as a TD-AMERITRADE account holder. Hey, and we're going to do all that from our mobile device. So sit back and relax, and let's get right into it. Okay guys, welcome back. Hey, so let's get right down into it. So what I'm gonna need you to do is grab your mobile device and just go ahead and watch what I do on the screen. And I'm gonna walk you through how to go ahead and download the TD-AMERITRADE mobile app. So let's do it. Okay, so here's the disclaimer guys. I am an Android holder, so this is a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G. So I'm gonna be doing it through the Play Store. But if you're an iPhone holder, hey, congratulations. I applaud you, I guess. So what we'll do is we'll actually go through how to do it on the Google Play Store, and you can go ahead and do it through your iTunes. You can just follow through the same steps that I'm going to take for the Android users. All right, so what we're going to do first is that we're going to go into our Google Play Store and we're going to hit the search it button, and we're going to type in TD-AMERITRADE, and you see it comes up as one of the first ones up. So I'm going to click that, and you see there's the very first app that's already up. It's going to say TD-AMERITRADE Mobile, and I already have it available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it, and you're going to see that you just need to hit install if you already don't have it installed. If you already have it installed, what we're going to do is we're going to hit open like I am. Okay, so now what we're going to do, now that you have the app downloaded, what you're wanting to do next is to open a new account. And if you're looking at the screen like I am, you're going to scroll up and you're going to see open new account. So we're going to open a new account now. Okay guys, so once you hit the open a new account button, what it's going to take you to is to your screen where it says select the account. And then what you're going to see is that you're going to have some of the things up here that's called most common. You're going to have a joint minor category, a retirement category, education savings category, and so forth and so on, right? So what I usually see in some of the comments about people who are looking to open up a new account on whatever platform that it may be is that, hey, what type of account should I be opening? Well, that's a good question, and that's a question that you should be asking yourself as you're going through the process. So if you're unaware about what kind of account that you're going to open, what we can do in TD-AMERITRADE is that you can use the not sure find an account button, and that's what we're going to click because I want to walk you through it. So you're going to click the not sure, let's find an account button. And this is going to take you to another screen where you're going to be able to discuss with TD-AMERITRADE what is your interest in what type of account in opening. And it's going to give you a few select choices to make from questions that it's going to give you. And then beyond that, it's going to ask you other questions to follow on depending on the beginning choice that you make. So what we're going to do is that we're going to hit the save for my retirement account button just to show you. Okay, so after you hit the save for my retirement account, it's going to give you two options. And the two options that it's going to give you is I'll select from my own investments, or I prefer a portfolio that's digitally managed to me. So what you're going to do here is that you can hit the I prefer to a portfolio that's digitally managed for me button. You'll click that, and then it's going to provide you two options. That's the only two options that it has. It has a selective portfolio and an essential portfolio. So if you look at the essential portfolio, it's a minimum investment of $500, and then you can have built-in non-proprietary ETFs into your investment portfolio. Now, if you select the selective portfolio, obviously you need to have a minimum investment of $25,000, and it has to choose from a wide range of portfolios, and then you have a portfolio specialist available to help you. So it gives you a couple options. So let's just go back, and what I'm going to do is show you how to open up an individual brokerage account. That's what we're going to do today. So if you are interested in any other one of these other categories, you can go back through it and you can learn about them as you're doing it using the questionable algorithm that gives you funding or gives you a type of idea of what type of other accounts to open. So let's go back and let's do the individual brokerage account now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is show you how to get to the individual account button from the questionnaire, and then we'll show you how to select it after we get back there. So in the questionnaire, you'll hit trade stocks and other securities. And once you hit that, you will do on the how do you want to manage your account, I'll select my own investments. And it's going to ask you, who is this account for? And you're going to say, just for this, just a scenario, just for me. And it's going to show you all account types when you hit the button. Now, here's what it's going to say. Here's an account for you. It has the individual option. So what we're going to do is hit the green button that says open an individual account. Now, what it's going to do is tell you, hey, let's start working on opening your account. So basically what it's going to show you is what you need immediately when you go ahead and open up an individual account. And it's going to tell you that the things that you need is a social security number or ITIN, either a foreign tax ID, passport or visa number if you're not a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, and your employer's name, address, and phone number. So what I'm going to do is fill this out fictitiously for you so you can walk through the process of seeing how to do it, but you can put your real information in as you're walking through with me, and in this way you can go ahead and fill out your account so we can get right into opening your brokerage account and showing you how to buy and sell and later on in the video. So go ahead and start filling in your information just like I am. And once you fill out the first information on the first screen, what you're going to do is you're going to read the TD Ameritrade privacy statement. If you want to take time out to read that, go ahead and hit that, the privacy link, and then read through it, and then just check the box. But if you're ready to move on to the next screen, let's just hit the box. And we're going to continue on to personal information. So now it's going to ask you for your date of birth and other information that's part of your personal information. So we're going to go through those steps as well and answer the questions as they apply to you, and let's just walk through it. So you're going to put in a birthday. I'm going to put in a fictitious one. All right, am I a citizen? Yes. Are you a citizen of another country? No. Then I'm going to put in a fictitious social security number. And then I'm going to do employment status. And I'm going to pick whatever employment status I want, but you can pick whatever employment status that you would like to pick as well. What? Hold on. Dog want to go out. Okay, so once you put in your business information and you put in the rest of your personal information, you're going to get down to how do you plan to use this account. Now, well, it's going to give you two options, and it's going to have one for common investment transactions, including stocks, bonds, options, ETFs, and mutual funds, or it's going to be another alternative, which is advanced trading of futures and or forex, in addition to common transactions. So your common transactions is exactly what it says is the one above with the common investment transactions. So all that'll be included, and then you'll have the advanced trading of futures and or forex. Now, if that is something that interests you or something that you already do on another brokerage account, hey, feel free to go ahead and select that drop down button if you want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the common investment transactions because that's what normally a lot of people are gonna use. So a lot of people who are watching this tutorial will be using that account type. So that's what we're gonna use for this video. So we're going to continue on to the financial information at this point. Okay, so now we're at the financial information. Now on this page, this is how basically TD Ameritrade is going to do this thing behind the scenes to actually make sure that you're who you say you are. They are going to be able to verify a lot of this information based off your tax information that you're going to provide to the IRS. So if you're filing taxes, this is the information that's going to be warranted from TD Ameritrade as well. So I always tell people, when you're opening up a brokerage account, always think about it as almost like opening a bank account, and you're going to have to provide certain information just to make sure that people can identify who you are as you make transactions, whether it's in your bank account, savings account, or whatever. So this will be the same thing, the same idea behind the principles behind it. So you will just put in information as you see fit, as it fits your personality and your style of trading. So go for it. And I'm gonna just walk through it, and you can just follow along with me. So now when we get down to what is the source of funds for your initial deposit, you're going to have a multitude of options here. So what you're going to do is pick whichever one works for you. And basically it'll give you basically an idea of what's going on with your account. It's just telling TD Ameritrade how the account is going to be funded. And then you'll see later in the next link that we're going to have to go through is going to talk about how are you going to continuously fund it. So we'll just pick investments, and then it'll say what is the source of funds for ongoing deposits, and we'll just use employment wages. So now you're going to get down to affiliations. Now, let's talk about affiliations here, because this is what it's going to tell you. So I'm going to read the question, then I'll kind of give you a little bit more information behind it. It says, are you or is your spouse or is any member of your immediate family living in the same household licensed by, employed by, or associated with a broker-dealer firm, a financial services regulator, a security exchange, or a member of a securities exchange? So with that, here's what you get. You get basically how to understand what insider trading is. See, they want to understand what this question, they want you to answer this question based on the fact that you may be actually eligible to understand and get inside information from whoever is in your immediate family. And they want to make sure that if you do have access to inside information, that you are actually making the correct filing that you need to make so you can actually make that trade. So they don't want you have to disclose certain things to the SEC when you're actually going about doing your business with inside information. So you got to make sure you disclose all your trades and everything else in advance of. So this is why this question is available for you to answer. So if it applies to your situation where you may have immediate family members or anybody of the sort that's close to you, where you could actually probably be accessible to inside information, you want to make sure that you go ahead and give that information. You hit yes on this. If it doesn't apply to you, you're going to hit no. So then you're going to have to answer the next question, which is, are you or is your spouse or any member of your immediate family a member of the board of directors, a 10% shareholder, or a policy-making officer of a public traded company? I can't talk today for some odd reason, but yeah, so that's the same thing basically here. It's basically you'll be, if you're on one of these three things apply to you, then you will be hitting yes. You want to be honest about these questions. You don't want to disclose, you don't want to hide anything from the SEC, because that can wind up being a big penalty and can lead to jail time. So you want to just go ahead and answer the questions truthfully. If it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, then you're going to select no. Now, it's going to ask you about what to do with your sweep of uninvested cash. So your sweep of uninvested cash is where do you want your cash held when it's not invested? So basically, if you have cash that's deposited into your brokerage account and you actually then make a trade to actually fulfill that cash with a stock investment or ETF investment, however, or even through an option, it's going to actually sit in your account just like a checking account or basically a savings account in this instance. But at the end of the trading day for the market, when it closes, they want to know, what do you want to do with your cash? Do you want to leave it in the FDIC insured deposit account at one or more banks? And if that's the case, then you have a insurance coverage all the way up to $500,000. But if it's just using your brokerage account to hold the money, that means that you get protected by SIPC insurance, which is the Securities Investors Protection Corporation, and they insure up to $250,000 in cash. So depending on what option you want, that's the option that you'll select for yourself. Now, obviously, if you have more than $250,000 in cash, I would recommend that you go ahead and go with FDIC insured, because obviously is insured up to $500,000. So you still make sure that anything in excess of your cash that you have in your investment portfolio, you at least know that it's insured all the way up to $500,000. Now, if you have less than $250,000, you can consider using the SIPC. In my case, what I would do, if it depends on no matter how much money I had into the account, I would just use the FDIC, because FDIC, it works with my bank. It'll work here as well when it comes to my securities. So I would use FDIC. Now, what you would do after that, if you have an offer code, you'll enter it now. So if someone offers you an offer code or anything of that sort, you'll enter it here. You can go about your business doing it that way, but then you'll hit continue to review information. Now on this screen right here where it says let's review your information, you want to make sure all your information is very accurate, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to run through the algorithm and they're going to research the information that you gave them for TD Ameritrade to open your account. Now, if any of this information is inaccurate or it leads to a lot of details, there's still at least questions available for why they can identify who you are, then it's going to flag it and you're going to have to prove who you are even more to open the account, which you will see here when I hit the button. So as long as you put your information in accurately, it should open your account for you. You'll get an email confirmation, and then you'll be congratulating yourself to opening your TD Ameritrade account. So let's see what happens when I hit the button. So it says we're unable to verify your identity. So hopefully for you, when you put your information in accurately, unlike I did, you would get more information available for you to let you know that your account has been opened. You'll receive an email confirmation, and they'll tell you that you can go ahead and log into your account. And we're off to the races. It's almost time. We're about to get ready to buy stock. So let's get to it. Okay, so now we're back in the app. What you're going to do now is you're going to log in with your username and password, and then we're going to get on the same page with our account. So let's get, okay, now that we're in our accounts, hey, let's take a look at what's going on inside the TD Ameritrade app. Hey, so I'm gonna give you a brief walkthrough here and just basically give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on here. And then I'm gonna show you how to buy a stock. And then I'll even show you how to go ahead and sell a stock. So let's get down to it. All right, so you're on your dashboard. This is your dashboard. This is your screen where basically it shows you exactly what's going on, with basically a quick snapshot of what your account looks like and everything else, especially if you have positions in that account. Now you're going to see at the very top, you're going to have dashboard, watch list, markets, and accounts. Now, let me be clear here. Another disclaimer, if you're on iOS, it may look slightly different, but it's still going to have the same scenario how you're going to be able to operate inside this app. So just pay attention to what I'm doing, and then you may have to fidget around just a little bit with your Apple phone, but you'll still be able to get through the scenario just like you need to. So let's just walk through it real quick. All right, so we're on our dashboard, and you're going to scroll down to where your positions are, and your positions is going to show exactly what you have in there. Now on my screen for the table, I have set it up kind of differently than what you're going to see when you initially set up your TD Ameritrade account. What you're going to see, you're going to have a totally different slide through when I show you how to go through this, right? So the way I done mine is, you'll see I have the stock symbol first, and then I have today's gain in dollars. See, it says day gain, and then it has a dollar sign, and it shows you how much I made today in that particular position in cash. And then it'll show you how you go across a day gain in percentage. So then it shows you in percentages of how much you've made on that stock position for the day. So now what you'll see is that you have price of the last stock price of the position that you're actually holding in that portfolio. Then you'll see it has a change of dollars and basically on how much the share price changed throughout the day and at the time of the market closing or even after hours. So then you'll see a change in that percentage as well, which should be the same as your day percentage. And then you'll see the market value of that position, total position, whether it's your cash or how much interest you've made in that account. Now, what you'll see then is a gain in dollars, which is that's how much interest I've made off the position since I've owned the position. And then you'll see a gain in percentage, which is how much I've made off the stock since I've had it in my portfolio. And then you'll see a cost per share. That's my cost basis for how much I bought each share at an average price of. It depends on if I bought more than one time into that position. And then you'll see the last share price at the current time. And then you'll see the volume of trades for that day, for that particular position. So that's how mine's look. Now yours may look something totally different than what I actually have. So if that's the case, if it is, you can always hit the wheel here and you can go in and you can check whichever columns that you would like to. What I would suggest, take a screenshot of what I have up on the screen right now, so that way you can see if this mirrors anything that you have or is something that you're interested in moving your stock portfolio over to resemble. So you'll see all the ones I have checked, and that's it. So now let's talk about what else is on this dashboard. You'll see that you have position news. It is basically going to cover all the positions that you have in your portfolio. It'll give you the top 3 stories at that point in time, but you can always hit it to where you can get more stories in there if you want to. But I only keep the top 3 up there because I don't really go through all of them. I only like to see what the real snapshot is. I get my news from other sources, and if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments, because if you're interested in how I get my news for my stock picks, I'll show you that too. But let's keep on going. So what you'll see here is market news by Dow Jones. This is a standard format for any TD Ameritrade account. It'll always have this. This is like a customized position that you'll have up there. And then you'll have a daily market update, which gives you a headline of what's going on for the day. Now, I want to show you something else. You actually have at the bottom down here the eyeglass function where you can actually see where you can search for symbols. We'll come back to that in a second, but I just wanted you to see that that's at the bottom. Now we're gonna go to our watch list, which is at the very top. Now, you see I have here a new watch list that I created, and basically I'm gonna walk you through how to put something on your watch list. Why is this important that you wanna make sure that you keep an updated and fresh look of a watch list? Well, because it might be something that's trending or that you've already done your research on, but you wanna make sure that you get into the right position at the right time, or you just wanna track the stock itself because you want to see how it's going to go in this trajectory, or it's going to present you an opportunity to buy. So what you can do is, one, let's just find a stock that we're interested in. Let's see, I already have some down here in my search engine. So let's just go with Clove, okay? Clover Health Investments. So you see it's currently trading at $13. And then you actually see I have a bell to the right, and then I have the trade button right next to it. Now, on that bell lets you pick any one of these alerts that you'll want to set. Now this is the alert section. So this here is a general alert section. It's not a specific stock alert, which I'm gonna show you here in a second once we get down to it. But this is just to let you know that you can put any stock in this here and they'll let you know what your alerts are, or you can add an alert if you wanted to. So we'll go back and you see it has an overview here. This is our overview. It goes through the 1 day chart. It goes through the market data, tells you how much everything is about the stock, if it has a dividend or not, the fundamentals of the stock, and the earnings that's coming, if it has any, and the company profile. Now, what I want to do is take you over to the chart section. So we'll go over to the chart, and on the chart section, what you'll see, it has a 5 day, 1 month, all the way out to 5 years, right? So you can go back 3 months to see how the stock did. You can go back a month, or you can go back 5 years. If it has 5 year history, it may not. If it has a year history, you will know that too, and it has 6 months. So you can do those. You can actually zoom in on the charts if you needed to. But this stock, it doesn't have that many positions because it's only been available since January 11th, so it won't zoom in. Okay, so let's go to news. Now, when you go to news, particularly in that position that you're looking at, or that stock symbol that you're looking at, it's going to be all news based on that particular stock. And that's what it's going to cover. So you can go through this, and TD Ameritrade will just keep on populating news here as much as possible when they come across news articles that applies to that particular stock symbol. So you'll go to your ratings next, and then your ratings is here, right here for you. You'll have analyst reports in here. If you actually had a rating on the stock, it will provide those for you as well. And you can skip level 2, but we'll go to options. If this stock had options, it'll have option calls here, and you can pick from those options if you made options available in your TD Ameritrade account. Now, let's talk about down at the bottom here. We was talking about the watch list, and we're still on the watch list. So if I wanted to add this to my watch list, what I want to do is hit the plus button at the bottom, and I want to add it to the watch list that applies to me. And I hit it to that watch list, and it'll show up Clove at the bottom. Now, what I want to do is show you how to make an alert too for Clove. So if I wanted to make an alert for a stock price for Clove, what I would want to do is hit the bell at the bottom right next to the big plus sign, and it has a little plus inside the bell. What I want to do is hit that, and it'll bring up the alert editor. Now in the alert editor, I can go ahead and make changes to whatever I want to make sure I get the right entry point into this position if I want to, or be signaled when the stock is on a run. So in this instance, what I want to do is actually get the stock price notification at a lower price point. So it's already on price type of last, but you can go by close price, you can go by mark if volume exceeds or anything with the percentage changing. So what I want to do is I'm going to use the last price here, but I typically use the percentage since the last close. But in this instance, I'm going to show you the last stock price. So the last price type is what I want to use, and then it's going to give me conditions that I want to use. I can use above, at or above, below, or at or below. So in this case, I'm going to use at or below because what I wanted to do is if it hit the stock, it signals, and then if it goes below the stock, it even signals. So either way it goes, I still get the price point that I want when it's notified to me, because it's already touched the price point. And then if it goes below it, then I'm actually entering into that stock. I can look at it, see if I want to make that entry point then, and actually put a trade in for it. So I'm gonna hit at or below, and I'm gonna put 12.50. Do you see the current stock price is at 13.04? So what it would do, it'll log it, and anytime that the close in the next couple days or so, hits below 1250, then or hit at 1250 or below, then it's going to send me a notification to my phone, and hey, I'm off to the races to try to make that trade. So, okay, so now that we're here, let's go ahead and make a trade for Clove. So we're going to actually go through the steps of how to buy Clove. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the trade button at the very top, and then it's going to come down and it's going to show you the stock symbol that you want to buy, which is Clove, and it's going to show you the last stock price. Now you're going to have some action items here. It's going to have the action button where it says buy, sell, buy the cover, or sell short. We're just going to use the buy. Then it's going to ask you for a type, either limit, market, stop market. In this instance, I'm going to just select for market, just for the example. So we'll do market, and it'll tell you, hey, how many shares do you want? If you don't want to buy 100 shares because you don't have enough money for 100 shares like I do down at the bottom, what you can do is you can hit the calculator to the side, and what it'll do is actually ask you for how much investment do you want to make. Well, you see I only had $30 in buying power, so what I'm gonna do is hit the $30. Okay, $30. So now I can only get 2 shares of Clove for $30. So then it gives me an expiration. I can either do day or MOC. I'm gonna choose day, and I'm gonna hit review order. Now when I review the order, it asks me, it shows me everything that I have, and then I'm off to the races to place in the order. It's gonna ask for a password, and boom, there it is. You just put the order in for your very first stock. Now it will fill at some point in time if it hits the right price point. If it don't hit the right price point, it'll just keep on going, but if it ever does, it will. But now since I did a market order will allow for me to buy at whatever the market, the team deems it is, as long as it's underneath $30. That's all I have to put into the stock. So there you go. Now let's discuss if I wanted to sell Clove. Well, what I would do, I would hit sell, and I would do it at a market again, but you could do it at the limit order if you wanted to. I want to sell those same 2 shares, and it's going to give me an expiration for today, and I would hit review order. I would review it, and guess what I would do? I would hit place order, and boom, you'll put your password in, and once you put your password in, it'll set the order to be filled. If the order is filled, you'll get a notification, and boom, you just sold your first stock. Congratulations, guys. All right, guys, there you have it. Hey, I'm glad to have you here, man. I hope you enjoyed the content that I provided you today. Hey, if I provided you some type of knowledge or know-how how to get your TD Ameritrade account off the ground, hey, go ahead and consider hitting that like button, and definitely go ahead and give me a subscribe, because I would keep on bringing you more content like this. And then comment down below if there's anything else that I can do for you, or questions that you may have when it comes to being a TD Ameritrade account holder. So I hope that helped you. I hope that you enjoy it. And like I always tell you guys, hey, you stay safe. Peace.